OSHA started recording earlier. What is good, everyone? Welcome to a brand new episode of Drag the Lake. I'm here. I'm queer. Get used to it. I wish I had something funnier than that.
That was good. I like that one.
No,
It's
wait.
true, too.
Accurate.
Super gay.
Very gay.
Guy had to put all of his dildos in that closet right there.
Yeah.
Right before we started recording.
Oh, dude, I want the closet to burst open. Just like an amount never stops coming
A
out.
bunch of gay sailors.
It just never stops. Yeah. All the dildos come out, and then it's like one fucking guy trips out.
You open the door and just a bunch of dildos are like suction cup to it. Like a lineup.
That'd be so funny if you had like an Iron Maiden and you open it up and it was dildos instead of spikes. We got Pat George here. How you doing, Pat?
I'm doing well, Andy. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I've had a lot of thoughts on music this week.
Really?
I was very excited to do Drag the Lake. Drag the Lake is turning into. I've been using a lot of my mental energy to learn about conspiracies and slowly become schizophrenic. So Drag the Lake's becoming the fun break from all that.
Nice.
And yeah, I've just been I don't know. I'm also in a place of peace because I'm just accepting life is what it is. Because like I was like going into this fucking thing because I want to start posting more album reviews on this channel, and I was trying to look up album reviews online to kind of like see how people title them and stuff, and like, you know, try to watch good ones to see what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
And dude, I noticed here, I'll show you it right now. This was like very interesting to me. I didn't realize that fucking Anthony Fantano, we've talked about him before. Don't agree with him on a lot of things, but I still think he's a fairly smart man. But if you go here, I'll show you right now. If you go into YouTube and you type in album review, and this was like this before I followed him. It's literally just Anthony Fantano.
Is that his mustache, you think?
I don't know what it is. Like,
His glasses? No matter what the shade, they're always the same shape?
yeah, dude, it's like only Anthony. Yeah, you get this.
There's a guy that looks like him.
Yeah. And his grandfather.
Oh, they're watching. Yeah, this guy, whoever his fucking dad is here. He's like, "Oh, mate, you want to listen to Tim Bain's artist and fucking hate?" I don't know why. He just looks Australian.
But yeah, it's just, it made me realize, I was like, yeah, like, we get this dude.
Hey, guy.
Yeah, we get this dude.
Logic's new album. Am I right?
Yeah, Logic's new album. But that was literally like, besides this dude, it's probably like 20 videos deep.
Wait a minute. Doesn't he kind of look like Logic?
Yeah, a little
So
bit.
even still, they're like, oh yeah, all these things of Logic, and then also his review. They're like, even YouTube doesn't even know who he is.
Yeah, but it was
They're
like,
why is Logic reviewing all these?
it was
these
like,
albums?
it was like getting me discouraged because I was just like, wait, how does this dude have this?
Okay, so it's the thumbnail. First of all, right here, he's going like this, and I go like, wait a minute, he doesn't like the Eminem album. I gotta listen to it because I liked it. And you find out he's like, it's pretty good. And you're like, oh, but okay. And then this one, he goes like, oh, I'm gonna give this person notes. Taylor Swift, I'm writing in my diary. And they're like, oh, he's gonna make fun of it. And he's like, actually, this is really good. You know?
Yeah.
Each one of them, he's getting it. He knows what to do.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was something I let discourage me for about a day or so.
More yellow flannel for you.
Yeah, I definitely need more yellow flannels
Also,
and
apparently-
circular glasses.
Apparently, tits up is the cut. What are we doing? We're going.
Oh, are we
waist-
showing too much?
Maybe that's what it is. He's going tits up.
Are we showing too much? Yeah, because when he does do his reviews,
All of them are tits up.
he
Oh, look at that.
You don't
Yeah.
get this. Oh, dude, and he's got a little bit of sexuality to it.
No.
Shows a little bit there.
No.
Yeah, look at that. You can see the beater underneath.
It looks like he's wearing a bra.
He might be.
A sports bra.
Sports bra.
So he's athletic.
He's very active.
We don't know.
But yeah, I thought that was an interesting ripple in the whole YouTube experience.
Tits up.
Where you're just like, how does he have this fucking stranglehold over the goddamn algorithm?
Tits up in a green screen, apparently. Just like if you could just paint that wall green.
I think the room's real. I think the album thing is a green screen.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, just get a green screen section, and then a little bit of sexuality, please.
I could.
I've been
boss.
saying it for years, guys. I can't bring it all.
Damn, dude.
You know what I mean? If I'm bringing all the sexuality, first of all, I want some pussy for my boy.
Thanks, man.
You know what I mean?
Thanks, man.
We both got wives. But we can still, we can still bank it.
Yeah.
It's a call to the other show.
You just talk to a lady. You're like, hey, could you just be a slut near me so I could remember it?
Yeah. Would you mind fucking that guy? He kind of looks like me.
Yeah. Just tell me what you would do on that guy.
Yeah. What would you do to that guy?
Do what you would. Do what you might.
Even the hypothetical I could do. Like, don't even tell me what you would do to me. Tell me what you would do to that guy, because he looks like me, and I feel like, you know what? I might get the same.
Yeah.
What if he smelled better? What would you do?
What if he smelled better and was just a dash tighter?
No matter how fat I've been my life, I have focused on trying to smell good as much as possible.
Yeah, that's always been my mission too, is trying not to be the smelly fat guy.
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah.
But this guy, definitely not a smelly fat guy.
No, he's not smelly at all.
No. Well, he might be smelly.
I did get a new respect for the dude. Cuz I told you, like, sometimes his opinions are just like goofy, and I think a lot of times he tries to act like he's this like super smart deep dude, but he's always just he was breaking down why the new I watched this video where he was like breaking down why like the new Katy Perry song, just like why someone has to study the downfall of Katy Perry, and they're like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You can just like completely ignore her. I'm not even a Katy Perry hater. I saw when she was on SNL and she had the Elmo shirt on. That was her best performance.
You know what we need to investigate? The downfall of Jason Biggs. You know what that motherfucker's doing? Jason Biggs is hosting a baking cook-off competition show on Netflix. A Netflix original.
Dude, I wonder what that sort of period of
Do
your
you know
career-
why?
He loves baking,
Because
obviously.
he fucked the pie. He still can only get jobs because he's the pie fucker.
Yo, I didn't even think about that.
It's crazy that guy cannot just act without being known as the guy who fucked a pie.
Well, I think
in a movie.
I think the reality of the situation is seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
I think
Not
he's
very
just
funny.
I think he's just not good at acting outside of pie fucking.
He's probably very polite, not super charming as far as like a competition show host. Like if you're watching, you want the gold standard. You want the British Bake Off, right?
Yeah.
So like, and where they're witty, they're fucking walking around talking to the people. This guy's got no, and this is just saying because he's been an actor his whole life. I don't know how much he's used to like interacting and performing with people. It's basically just crowd work. You go up to somebody, you say, "What are you working on?" "Oh, joke."
Yeah.
"Hey, you got 45 minutes left," and boom. It should be very easy for most people.
Because a lot of those
for
a lot
him-
of those cooking shows seem overly edited.
Maybe this one could be edited more.
Yeah, it's
maybe less Jason
The
Biggs.
point I'm trying to make is like if you're coming off unlikable on one of the most overly edited TV show formats,
Yeah.
it's like you got to be unlikable,
It's,
dude.
it's crazy. So, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is Netflix. This isn't live to tape. Like you could edit the fuck out of this.
Sorry, did I get rid of? Can you hand me the drink? Yeah, right there.
Gross. Even grosser.
What's gross about that? Taking care of it. No, that's funny.
But yeah, so yeah.
Well, no, I think the
downfall of.
I think the thing with Jason Biggs is he's one of there's always those actors that are only good at doing their thing.
Yeah.
But then there's like Sean William Scott, who we love his thing, and honestly, I wish there was more. He's not in enough shit.
Stifler?
Yeah, Stifler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I tied in.
Yeah, I like it. No, I was like, wait a minute, let's go. This is
Like and subscribe.
he had a McDonald's pie in his hand. That's what they're. So I think this is our retrospective of where are they now? American Pie version.
Yeah, American Pie.
But no, I agree with you. Yeah, I like his character, his thing, his same idea of what's his face? That Steve.
Buscemi?
The other guy from Saving
Seagal?
Silverman. No, it's not Steven Seagal. God damn it, I can't remember his name. I think it's Steve.
Sean William Scott?
It's the guy. No, the guy from Saving Silverman.
Not Jack Black.
Speaking of Jason Biggs, yeah, not Jack Black.
Saving Silverman.
Yeah, remember that? You've seen it.
By the way,
It's one of the
a
greatest
great
movies.
tie-in to music is all the fucking music they would have in these movies. Because when you're telling me about these movies, dude, that was like the heyday of like shitty '90s pop punk and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Tons of Blink-182.
But
Like some really good Blink-182.
Wait, Saving Silverman was the writing movie. He was the writer. right?
No, it was they were a they were a 3-person Neil Diamond tribute band.
Oh, that was still Jason Biggs. Right? Oh yeah, that guy. That guy.
What's his name?
Steve Zahn or something like that.
Steve Zahn.
Steve Zahn. He was all
I like Steve Zahn because he's always Steve Zahn in everything he's in.
And you're fucking pumped when he's showing up.
Love Steve Zahn.
I forgot about what's Steve Zahn been up to.
He was in Modern Family for a while.
Was he?
Yeah.
He was playing the daughter with the huge tits?
No, I wish. Ariel Winter.
I only noticed them on her 18th birthday, and I'm sticking to that story.
I double check every clip I will.
Oh, dude, there was so many. Yeah,
so
you always get those actors and actress and fucking musicians where you're just like, hey, they look. Hold up a second.
Yeah, wait a minute.
And I actually don't have an opinion about her.
Yeah, yeah. That show Wednesday. I was like, this is crazy. And then like 2 episodes in, I was like, I just kind of Googled it myself. And okay, I was like, yeah, Wednesday's pretty hot, huh?
Oh, right. Yeah, I did that with Billie Eilish. Yeah, I forget which album it was, but I was just like, dude, Billie Eilish has been looking pretty good.
Really, really good. I really love her songs.
Oh, yeah, dude, he was in Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Zahn's a dude I always love fucking seeing and shit.
I forgot. He was, I don't want to give it away. He was, I think that is kind of a spoiler if you haven't watched it. I'd highly recommend it.
White Lotus?
Was he?
White Lotus is a good time.
And even, by the way, even in like a movie or a show that might be more dramatic or anything like that, he's still Steve Zahn, but he's just toned down Steve Zahn.
Yeah.
So he still offers the comic relief, but he's not like overdoing it. I love Steve Zahn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steve Zahn.
Shout out Steve Zahn.
Best thing that ever happened to Jason Biggs.
We're big Zahn heads over here.
Big Zahners. It's our Zahner.
Dude, that was some of those 90s movies had some great music in them.
Yeah, I would say also I love a lot of times a movie where they would do sound-alikes of a lot of those. The Replacements had that, where they had a lot of songs that sounded like
I haven't thought
Blink-182.
about the Replacements in for fucking ever.
Sounded like Foo Fighters. Like they would have My Hero. You know that song by Foo Fighters?
There goes my hero.
That's the one. And they did they have one where you're like the drums start and you're like, is this? You know what I'm talking about with a sound-alike?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they make those things where they're like, we couldn't afford that song, but here's a song that was going to remind you of that
You
song.
know why that? You know, like when there was a trend in a lot of dramatic movies where it would be like a slow guitar cover with like a cello hitting long notes and stuff,
yeah.
and it would just be like a Nirvana song or something.
Yeah.
Where, what was the one where it's like, something's in the way?
Yeah.
And then like it'd be the song for like a Batman trailer or something like that. It's because you're allowed to use the cover. That was always a funny. There's this fake music fact that goes around all the time when people will post like Alien Ant Farm Smooth Criminal.
Whenever they do it?
What?
Whenever they do it?
Did I say it like that?
Whenever.
Dude, I'm just talking. Fuck it. Let me fucking bob and weave, dude. But when Alien Ant Farm, I see this on Twitter every couple months. Someone will post like, Alien Ant Farm's cover of Smooth Criminal was so good. It was like the only cover that Michael Jackson allowed happen. And I go, that's not how cover songs work. You don't need to get permission. I thought you did. No, it's a thing.
Not permission. You need to pay the.
Yeah. You just have to pay them.
Yeah.
But that's why movies do that a lot of times. Is they'll get the cover song that's pretty good because they don't have to then pay. Because like when you hear the cover song, you still get the. Please don't stand there. When you hear the cover song, you still get a similar emotional reaction to it.
Yeah.
But they also don't have to then pay the exorbitant amount of money for the actual song.
You know, that's so funny. Speaking of the Replacements soundtrack or whatever, or the songs at least during the movie, the one song at the end of it, I feel like every other song you're like, that kind of sounds like this, that kind of sounds like this. And at the end of it, they play it, but it's the Wallflowers cover of "We Will Be Heroes."
Yeah,
we could be heroes. We could be heroes. It just one day. And I was like, "That's the one you spend money on." But that's why.
That's why they do it.
Because every other one wasn't a cover. That one was a cover of
Well, like think about
That's
the cover.
crazy.
Think about the cover of 99 Red Balloons that Goldfinger did.
Absolutely.
It sounds pretty similar, but like a punk rock version of it.
Right.
And it's a really good cover. And it's like when it gets to the chorus, like 99 red balloons, ba, 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 you still get that emotional reaction
It's the same
because
tempo,
it's the same melody and shit like that. But then like they get to fuck, and honestly, it's a smart move. Like Luke Combs did it with Fast Car, where it's like the money he's gonna make because he does a good cover of Fast Car and like it blows up and it like raises his profile and stuff. The money the exposure he's gonna get is gonna make up for the money he's gonna have to give. I always forget who did Fast Car originally.
Tracy Chapman.
Yeah, and then also too, especially it's in Tracy Chapman's best interest because the way streaming is now, when Luke Combs put out Fast Car, now Fast Car is going to get like a huge bump on the streaming services. Maybe that gets Tracy Chapman a little bit more exposure. She'll do some interviews, do a tour or something like that. It's like it works for both people.
I think it's lagging a little bit because that's.
Oh, the website's just working too.
But I was just gonna say that's actually it's funny. I wonder if when they do use the cover song of it, they have to pay the cover band some rights to use the song, right? Because I was just thinking maybe that's why Weezer did that song, that album of covers that sound exactly the same as the covers. Because it's like they're probably thinking like, oh, business wise, this is really smart because we only have to pay what's the lowest amount we'll have to pay these record rights, the copyright rights, essentially, and then basically we'll get money.
Yeah, I don't know the
exposure for them using our cover of Africa because it's cheaper for them, but we still get to wet our beak.
Yeah, I don't know the exact numbers and stuff, but I got to imagine Weezer's still gonna make money if they use their specific song.
That makes me hate that album less. Okay. It makes me feel like it's more of a business decision than it is just them doing the exact version of whatever song they're doing.
Yeah, from like a business standpoint, you're like, I can peep game.
Yeah.
I respect it a little bit.
That actually makes a lot more sense because they're like, because you're right, that 99 Luftballon example is the exact version of that where you're like, the song, the hook, the part that you're going to use in your trailer, the part you're going to use in your movie, whatever it is, right, sounds exactly like the original. Yeah. But it's just a little bit maybe better produced because it's newer, newer technology, anything. But it's going to give you that same pop. Mm-hmm. Interesting. We're fucking actually pretty smart at this, aren't we?
We know a few things over here.
Holy smokes.
Over here on Drag the Lake, we know a few fucking things. Yeah. You were talking to me about actually on on No More Heroes.
On Homo Heroes.
On No More Homos, which that would be awful.
Yeah, that would be the worst thing ever.
That would be the worst. What would I do with all these dildos in my closet?
Stop it.
But no, you were talking about, I just posted a album review for that new Yosemite and Black album.
Yeah.
And I also posted an album review for Post Malone's country album.
Yeah.
And which one did you like more?
I didn't listen to the other one. I didn't listen to Post Malone's album. Is it good?
It's interesting. It's interesting because I think I kind of talked about this in the album review, and I was curious your perspective on it. But like Post Malone like my big thing with Post Malone is whenever you watch him in interviews and stuff, like as genuine as you can be at that level, he comes off like incredibly genuine, down to earth. Like watching him, because I used to be whatever about the dude. I used to like I've never really got that hard, like got that heavy into his music or anything like that. But then seeing him in interviews, it made me want to check him out because he's just like that at that level of celebrity. You don't get someone that just seems like a normal person like that. Like he doesn't seem like he's got a lot of ego or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then so the big thing with me with Post Malone is like he always got those like culture vulture allegations, which I always I don't know. I always kind of like roll my eyes at because the second you get like a white dude going into like hip hop or anything like that, it immediately like the fucking microscope just gets turned up to 1,000.
Yeah.
And it's like my general opinion is just like, if you're a dude, you're growing up, you're listening to this music, as long as like I think Lil Dicky's like the best example of it, where he was like a dude who clearly like grew up loving hip hop, but then he did hip hop in his own way. Like, you know, he's gonna sound the way he's gonna sound with like his articulation and the music and stuff like that. But when it came, and you know, especially when he's not doing his like silly songs, when he's doing his more serious songs, he's just being his genuine self. Yeah. I think where it gets tripped up with me with like the white rappers is sometimes they they like the music and they kind of like use a lot of the vernacular they hear, but a lot of that stuff doesn't always like match up with their like fucking life experience and shit like that, and that's where it ends up being a little bit corny. But I don't know, so like the Culture Vulture stuff with Post Malone always kind of annoyed me because he seemed very genuine. It seemed like he wasn't going to have any nefarious sort of intent with his shit. But then where I sort of kind of got like a little irritated in the guy was the way he sort of went into this country album, because what bothered me was sort of the hard right turn on his outfits and shit like that.
Like politically.
What?
Like politically.
No. No, just like the hard shift on the way he was dressing. And it's like, oh, now you're kind of making the Culture Vulture accusations a little bit more valid. I still think he's like a cool dude, a genuine dude, but sort of like putting on the country outfit and like going down that lane. It's like, because at this point, the dude's a celebrity more than he is like any specific musical artist. He's a celebrity. He's going to like, you know, he's past a specific genre. He's going to put out whatever he wants to put out. But it's always like irritating when artists do that hard genre shift and they're like, now I'm wearing I was doing hip hop. I wore the hip hop outfit. Now I'm doing country. I'm wearing the country outfit. So, that was like my only minor critique of it, but
my two thoughts
hit me
are, I feel like I don't like how easy it is to hate on somebody just because you can rhyme a word. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean? Like if I called you Sandy Andy because you're rough to be around, like that's not fair. I don't think that's true, but it just rhymes. Candy Andy. Oh, now you're a pussy? You know what I mean? Like what?
That was because I was sweet. Fuck.
Yeah, you're a sweet boy. You're a pussy.
No, sweet boys are not pussies.
No, that's what I said.
No.
But like, it's the same idea.
Sweet boys are pure in heart.
Culture Vulture is just one of those things of like, it's like being like. So this is my thing where it comes down to. I know Beyonce. He's giving his thoughts. He knows I'm about to talk about the Bayhive.
You fucking slut ass cat.
But he. Like Beyonce did a country album. She put on a fucking country hat and she fucking did a there's been people in the past that have done this.
Yeah.
That it's I think it's just a business choice.
Yeah.
Like putting out a country album. If they put out a country album and they're wearing fucking like a metal, like the thing Kerry King wears, the fucking gauntlet on his arm, you know what I mean? Like in spiked vest and shit like that, where you're like, yeah, true, you can dress however you want, but like also he can dress however he wants.
Yeah.
So why doesn't that mean I want to wear fucking cowboy hats now? I discovered this part of me that I want to do this artistically or something like that. Taylor Swift doesn't get that fucking shit. Beyonce doesn't give that shit, like any of this stuff, because there's apparently pop music you can come in and out of. You can be any race, but like, or you can wear any kind of clothes or anything like that. Like, I just don't understand like why it just comes out of nowhere. Just because you can say like you're just benefiting off of this culture. Like, how can you say he's just benefiting off of this when he's always been somewhat of an eclectic guy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like if he has had elements of these songs or these things the whole time, which he has, I'm pretty sure. I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not very familiar with him. No.
Yeah,
but it's also like. He has been somebody who has been the guy who has tattoos on his face that's accepted by the hip-hop community, by the fucking country community, the pop community, actors.
Hardcore community.
Yeah. Like he was at a Drain show, right?
Yeah, he was at like, there was a couple shows he went to, but Drain was the one I can remember.
Like, it's like, I don't know. I don't think he's, like when you say culture vulture, you're just taking somebody who is open to all cultures.
Well,
and you're making it a negative thing, and it's fucked up.
It reminds
It's a
me
fucked
of
up way to put it.
Well, no, I agree, and it reminds me of last night when I got back. I was like, I got like 3 hours. Let me stream a little bit, and some of the boys hopped in. By the way, twitch.tv/Andy Malfrina. Come stream with me. Some of the boys popped in, and we ended up because I was just scrolling through YouTube, and Channel 5 News had their Chet Hanks interview, and then it reminded me of when Chet Hanks what's her name, Z-Way or something? Is this chick on Showtime? Her whole thing is like, it's like a social justice warrior talk show.
Yeah.
And fuck. And she tries
the pills.
I haven't been taking them, dude.
You stupid asshole. I just had to go to Costco to replace mine because I've burned through the other bottle.
You want some of mine?
No, I went to Costco. I got it for 2 years now.
But no, I think her name's Z-Way, and she has this like, she's like a social justice warrior kind of like talk show. So she tries to do that comedy where like she makes it awkward over like actually just doing a joke.
Yeah.
But so they have Chet Hanks on, and you remember when he was doing that I think it's called patois, where they were doing that Jamaican. He was doing that like he was on the red carpet talking like that, and everyone was just like,
Chet Hanks.
Yeah, everyone was just like, the fuck is he doing? And like they're talking to Chet Hanks, and I think first off, Chet Hanks fucking rules. Yeah. And he's the best.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, you just hear him talk, and you're like, oh man, he's really just got nothing up there. He's just acting on instinct. What a good, simple, free-spirited man. And when she's like,
hey, he's not shooting kids or anything. You know what I mean? Like, what?
She was trying
to a good time.
Well, she was like trying to come at him about the patois thing, and she was like, you don't think you were being offensive? Like, why'd you do that? And it really came down to, he was like, yeah, I don't know. I was just like hanging out with Jamaicans, and I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I think people got to keep that in perspective sometimes, where it's like, sometimes it's like, it's not that fucking deep. Yeah. I think it's just like, people like stuff, and they that's their interpretation of it.
Speaking of this past weekend, it was so funny, the Dricus du Plessis and Izzy fight.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the promo for that, a lot of buildup was taken as a cultural statement when Dricus said, I'll be the one true African champion.
Yeah.
Saying basically, but the reason it was a sensitive thing to bring up is because of the what is it?
He's he's a white South African. Apartheid.
No, the other thing.
Slavery?
He's a colonizer. Like Africa was colonized against Africans' want and will. So like they didn't
like that.
No, I don't think so. So the reason there's a shit ton of white people is all of that shit. So that kind of touched a nerve with Izzy. It became kind of the through line.
Dude.
But at the end of the fight, what's his face? Dricus like went over to him and like respectfully, like I think he was saying like, hey, I never.
Yeah, he was like talking in his ear for a while.
Yeah, seemed like a very sincere moment.
Seemed genuine. Yeah,
and they kind of made amends. And afterwards, I think you had already come back here to watch wrestling, and there was I was watching the post fight thing, and there was they're like, oh yeah, so what did you think of this? And Anthony Smith, light heavyweight fighter in UFC, was like, he's like, I hate it. He's like, I hate that. He's like, the whole time, he's like, you guys convinced me that you hated each other, and then all of a sudden now you're like hugging each other and kissing each other and shit. He's like, I don't know. He's like, it kind of makes it feel fake. It makes it feel phony after. But I was like, I don't know. That felt like a genuine misunderstanding that like Dricus wasn't necessarily going to be like, no. Like the more you try to explain it, the more you get caught in it. But it was a thing.
He's talking shit.
Yeah, exactly. He knew what he was doing.
I've seen the clip. In the moment, he knows what he's doing.
Right.
He's talking shit to get a rise out of Izzy. Like, dude, we've all done that where you like talk shit, and then when you calm down, you're just like, I mean, I didn't really like mean all that.
I don't mean that. Yeah. Like, I didn't mean it that way, but I knew what I was doing. It was a dog whistle shit like that. I've heard that term, right? So like I feel like a lot of times when you do the culture vulture stamp is just a thing that you reserve for somebody you want to try to take down.
Yeah.
It's not because everybody fucking does it. Everybody goes to a place for vacation And it's like, oh, so you're just going to come here and use our beaches? And it's like, it's called tourism. You can look at it in a negative way if you want.
Yeah.
But, oh, you're just going to come here and gentrify this neighborhood? You mean up the property value? So if you stay here, your house costs, you know what I mean? Like, there is bad versions of it.
Well, no, I will disagree slightly on I know where you're getting at, though.
Yeah.
But the gentrification shit's more of like, that's the city.
When you're pushing them out.
Because the problem with gentrification is it's like the city acts like, well, we're making it all better. And it's like, no, you're also pricing out the people who've lived there their whole life.
Yeah, they did it in downtown St. Pete.
Yeah, so I've like literally heard people go like when they hear about them wanting to put in a new stadium or something, they're like, oh God, we're going to have to fucking move. Because we're not going to be able to. Because it's like the people who move in, it's like you can't. Like, I get it. Like, so it's not it's like rich white people moving in. It's kind of like fucking annoying. But it's like they're just responding to incentives. You know what I mean? They're just looking at it as like, oh, they're building up this area. And it's the same way the people who live there responded to the incentives of like, oh, this is a cheap neighborhood that's not that bad to live in and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I get the general point you're getting at.
Yeah, I guess it's just a thing where there is a version of that is maybe gentrification is the thing, but like when you try to say like culture vulture or something where you try to weaponize culture essentially.
Well, it's this weird thing where it's like they're like taking part in your culture because they like it. It's similar to why I laugh at the term cultural appropriation. It's one thing if like, a corporation's going to use that to like sell a fucking product or whatever.
Like Target with the gay pride shit.
Yeah, or like how like I don't know, like when the fucking boy bands came out and all their people were pushing that, like these are the guys who did it, and then Boyz II Men are standing there like, yeah, we kind of fucking made that. Yeah. You did, but at the core of like the people are missing with all the like cultural appropriation shit. It's like they may not. It's like I was saying this on stream last night. It's like if like a dopey white person's talking to an Asian person and they just hit them. They're like, "Where are you from?" And then the Asian person will be like, "Fucking,
I'm from Kentucky.
I'm from Kentucky."
My
and
family grew up in Kentucky.
And it's like, yeah, but you need to know at the core, like the white person's acting like that because they don't have Asian friends. They don't know what you guys get annoyed about. Yeah, you know what I mean. But at the core of it, they're going, I'm interested in your shit. Yeah. And you know what I mean? So it's like, you got to still remember that at the core of like, and it's like, dude, cultures coming together have made the best things. Zoe Kravitz. It's the best of the black and Jewish culture I've ever seen.
I would say.
You know what I mean?
Mariah Carey's
Mariah Carey.
Oh my goodness.
Tex-Mex.
Yeah. No, is she black Irish?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I was talking.
I honestly just took a guess by Mariah Carey. She's mixed race,
dude. I was talking to Nate about this. I got onto Blasian Instagram, and I go, dude, you just give any race a little dash of African American. Whoo, chef's kiss. It's oh my god. Yeah, it's the fucking best.
It kind of makes you feel like I think there is a superior race. It might be black. Like if you add a little bit of black to everything, you're like. It's a good enhancer. Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like you guys are actually the salt, not us.
We're the chicken. You're the marinade. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that. It's like one of those things of like it's like you said, adding a little bit to each culture where you're just like a little bit of African American here, a little bit of right here. Like
that's what I'm saying, dude. Just go look up Blasian women, and you're just gonna be like. But like, dude, I don't know. I was trying to do a joke about that where I'm just like, no one's ever like, I feel like no one's ever 100% racist. Because you could take like the most racist guy and to be like, yeah, you could take the most like they took her jobs guy in the fucking world and be like, yeah, you're not gonna crack open Sofia Guevara or whatever her fucking name is. Vergara or Jennifer Lopez. George. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh, George. Dude, you've been crushing Modern Family.
I love that lady.
Yeah.
All the ladies in Modern Family are delightful.
Yeah.
Once they're of age, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's a weird thing that like I got a thing for the Latina mommies with the big hooters.
Yeah.
Selma Hayek, Sofia Vergara, I'm just a simp. I don't give a shit.
You love some big
I
old
gotta tell you,
titties.
I'm learning a lot about myself coming out here to Austin, especially doing mics and stuff like that. Or I did Feud with a gentleman, and I was explaining my life basically as a married, domesticated man.
Yeah.
I was explained also that I was apparently a simp. I don't give a fuck what you call me. You know
What
I
was
mean?
the
Like,
context of you getting called a simp?
I was saying that I feel like I guess I can give away the topic. It's never going to come out on YouTube. It was it was white people or white women should not be allowed to own dogs.
Okay.
My rebuttal was not only should white women be allowed to own dogs, I feel like my wife is essentially my advocate. Do you know what I mean? She's my adult. Like she's the one that makes when I have a major decision, I got to run it through her.
Advocate's a good word.
But that's she's essentially I don't that was my point was saying we shouldn't have only health advocates or chaperones for the mentally disabled. Should also be for just maybe white gentlemen.
What part of you were a simp?
I guess because I want my wife to tell me what to do and stuff like that. And it's like, no. I need the guidance. I'm a dumb motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, you can call me a simp. I don't care. This was essentially my feeling after the fact of like, oh, I think a lot of the shit that I admit of who I am, I'm very comfortable admitting who I am, but I don't think it's of the popular persuasion. Of most people would consider it, what's the term, gay.
Yeah, no, I think simp is more the titties or the ass are blinding you to the reality of the moment.
Oh, really? Maybe so it was not even used correctly. Maybe I'm a cuck or maybe I'm a puss. I don't know. It was one of those terms where, I'll never know it because it will never see the light of the day.
No, I think it's you acknowledging your flaws.
It's not even a flaw.
What?
It's not even necessarily a flaw. It's like it's partnership. It's one of those things of like.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is like you're bad at you're bad at clerical work.
Right.
And your wife's really good at spreadsheets.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We fill in each other's gaps. Like on the show here.
Yeah, you fucking do, dude.
Yeah, I fill in her gaps.
Hell yeah, dude.
Everyone.
I'll let you say it.
Airtight.
I'm in her house. I'll let you say it.
We've hit the dildo closet a couple times.
When I'm at, dude,
the dildo maiden.
The dildo closet's for everyone. You just got to let me know which one you use.
I forget. Did we talk about the dildo maiden on this one, or was it on?
It's hard to tell. We record these back to back, and I can't remember what No, we started with the dildo closet on this one.
Hey, for the 10 of you that are crossover fans on both of these, can you let us know? Did we say dildo maiden?
I will say this: if you do, it's not like a library. You can keep the dildos you borrow.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to return them.
But we put them in the dishwasher and we put them back.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We clean them.
I can still smell it.
messy.
I can still smell it though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the Post Malone album was interesting because it was like it was funny. It because I don't know. Country's interesting.
No.
Because he ran he ran the gamut of like bullshit country I never want to hear again. And then, like, some of it that was actually kind of fun. He has this one song called Mexico where it's the same energy of, like, the devil went down to Georgia. You know, let me tell you a story that didn't fucking happen. Yeah. But it's, like, really fast and it's real fun.
You don't think that happened?
And it's really... I want to say it didn't.
What makes you think that didn't happen?
Do
you believe the Bible happened?
Oh, yeah, every page.
Then why wouldn't that happen in Georgia?
Where tell me... They wouldn't save that.
You're telling me.
They wouldn't save that bullshit for Georgia?
He didn't outfiddle the devil.
Nah, dude.
Come on, man. Grow up. It happened.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
They couldn't make up that elaborate of a story.
So there's like songs like that, but then there's a lot of the just like the like mainstream country music just makes me laugh because it's a lot of it is literally just like multi-millionaires just being like, I'm just like you guys.
90s country was good because 90s country was talking about 70s and 80s antics.
Yeah.
So like when we get to now country, it's too current. It's what you're going to do right now. It's like as soon as like a new app comes out or something like that, they're mentioning it in a country song. It's like it's too quick now. Like when they're talking about like, so one of my favorites. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, never knew how much that dirty water meant to me. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's beautiful.
He's talking about, yes, that's a beautiful poetic line. That's a great fucking song.
Yeah.
It's about talking about a simpler time, a nice country life, all this other shit. But now they're like, I'm going to tell Gay text you on WhatsApp, blah, blah, dee, ding, that, drink a Bud Light, bing, bong, boom, Chili's,
I'm gonna
Applebee's.
I'm going to send you the new Q drop on Telegram.
It's crazy. It's like, it's too current. They're not, if country nowadays were just to talk about what was happening in the 90s,
yeah, country music.
it would be 10 times better.
I feel like the best country music should sound like an old tale about like a cowboy.
It's supposed to be nostalgia.
Yeah, I shouldn't be thinking about fucking like cell phones and Twitter and like
Hats,
modern
trucks,
amenities.
Dogs. It's so simple. It never changed. It's hats, trucks, jeans, boots, dogs, love. Like, that's it. Like, those are the things. You can mention all those things. All of those things are timeless.
Yeah.
If there's a country song about growing up having to talk on a phone with a cord,
Yeah.
boom, $1 million. That's a fucking #1 song.
Dude, that guy.
But the song about Apple, there's one literally about where they're talking about going to I think it's Applebee's, isn't it? There's like a song where it's like, it makes me sick to hear it. I hate that song more than anything. Because old country can be interesting. Mm-hmm. Like you said, Johnny Cash is talking about a fucking dickhead in prison in the 50s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, if you just go back 2 decades, don't talk about what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And they're winning, in my opinion.
Or if you talk about some of his songs that were actually getting me is he had like some ballads and shit like that. I'll get down with a good country ballad where you just talking to me. Yeah, and because like there were a few, like there was the one that made me laugh. It was like him and Jelly Roll were like, this is an ode to the this is our anthem for like the losers, and you're just like, sure, but you guys are also like multimillionaires who everything they touch turns to gold. So maybe like you're not like, you know, and you hear some of the songs where,
but they were a loser for a long time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Jelly Roll ate a lot before he got famous.
He still is.
Yeah,
he's still chowing down.
It's funny. Have you seen that? I'll shout out to Jelly Roll if you're watching. Please, this is out of love.
Jelly Roll. Sorry.
There was a clip of him. I think it was DoorDash. Where they're like, oh yeah, you can't remember. It's like the joke is, you remember that you can use DoorDash now, but you forget something, and they're like, oh, I don't know what I forgot. And each time the celebrity has forgotten a thing, but it's him, and they're like tearing open the bananas, and he hands him a banana. He's like, yeah, now I'll remember that. I really hope I don't forget anything. And he just takes a bite of the banana without peeling it, and then the guy's like, oh yeah, I hope you don't either. And I go, that's not a convincing commercial because I'm not convinced he doesn't eat bananas that way. He looks like a gorilla. He's like sitting like Coco the gorilla like this, and he's like, yeah, I don't know. And he goes, and I'm like, so what's the joke?
Yeah, you could.
What did he forget?
You're like, yeah, that's probably just how Jelly Roll eats bananas.
Yeah, I think that is.
Jelly Roll, I feel weird about. I never want to like talk about his music because he falls into that category where I go, this guy seems like he rules.
And I would never. I don't mean that in a mean way.
I feel the same way about the Lil Yachty, the one rapper.
Yeah,
they seem like they fucking rule.
Yeah.
All due respect, Mr. Roll, I don't want to spend a second listening to your music.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
I'm not familiar with any of his songs whatsoever, but I think he's a lovely gentleman, and I'm really happy for all of his success. But
he gets me like
I feel the same way about Post Malone. By the way,
yeah.
I'm not familiar with most of his music, but I'm happy to see him thrive in anything he's doing.
It's weird. There's a lot of that for me in rap because like I'm getting to this is why I like sort of phased out talking about rap a lot on because when I used to make music content, I used to talk a lot about rap and shit like that. And I just started realizing like I don't like a lot of this like some of the big shit everyone's talking about, and everyone would like big up it, and I'd just be like, I don't fucking see it, and I go, you know what? It probably just isn't for me. Let me go venture into shit I genuinely love a lot more. There's still a lot of like rap that I fucking love, but yeah, it was just. But then you'd see these rappers, all the time, and you're like, they all seem like chill dudes.
Yeah.
They all seem like cool fucking dudes. I don't want to listen to their music, but I would totally hang out with them in the studio or some shit.
Yeah, Future, I think, is somebody who I like his music, but I don't think I would ever want to hang out with him.
Dude, he's one of the dudes.
I think I'd be scared.
I get obsessive over him because I see the way people talk about him, and they talk about him like he's the fucking Beatles. Like he's on that level for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then I listen to the music and I go, I've never misunderstood what people were saying more. And it's like it's like nothing personal.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, Future seems chill. It's just I cannot understand. Because I think
you know that song that that song? Have you ever heard that song?
Is it the one with Kendrick and J-Rock?
I honestly don't know. I've only seen it on
Is
social
it the one where
media.
it's like slap on my nub,
No.
court on the court?
No, it's like it's almost indistinguishable what he's like. It sounds like somebody just going da party till like that or something like that. Have you
Oh
heard that
no,
song?
that's just like a goofy random white lady.
Well, I was just gonna say it's. He sounds like that chopped and screwed.
That's so funny.
Or just like that's what Future is to me. Where I'm just like, it's fun. I'm having a good
Well,
time.
I was thinking about it where I was like, I have been like I love rap and hip hop, but the older I get and the more I see other people's opinions who are like true hip hop heads, I think I just go like, I don't get where your guys are coming from, and you guys seem like more of the mass of the fan base. So I mean, it's probably just one I just kind of like sit out on and enjoy it because like I saw someone post, I forget who the group was, but there's this like classic hip hop song called 93 to Infinity. It's a good song. Like on the whole, it's a good song. Really cool fucking beat. And it's just see this guy on Twitter going on just like, I've never heard lyrics better than this. And I'm like looking through the lyrics on Spotify and it's like standard, I'm a really cool guy. And when I come to the party really sets off. And it's just like, and like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm just like, I don't fucking see it, man. I just don't. I just accept that I'm just not locked into hip hop like that, and it's fine. I'll talk about like my hardcore and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and shit like that. But yeah, there's so much. I just like all the like Futures of the world and shit like that. There was just enough of them racking up that there was enough of them racking up that I just go, I don't understand this whatsoever. The one that's been intriguing me is going back to the like white guy rap culture vulture thing. There's this dude who's like leaning into being the corny white guy, and he literally just goes by Ian. Wait, I gotta show you this. This one's been making me laugh because I think he's kind of like, I think he's not troll. Like I think he's genuine and like.
Is he like one of the guys that like is like super nerdy and then like, but when like he comes out, he's like super hype and fucking really really good? Or is he still very reserved?
I don't really care for his music, but if you like that music, he does that very well.
Yeah.
No, like his album cover. What's his? Yeah. Wait, I gotta find you his album.
It looks different in every picture.
Yeah, there's like 6 different races that came up when I looked for him. Oh yeah, this. So like he leans into the corny white guy thing, and I think he's like trolling to a degree. Not that he's trolling and like I'm being disingenuous with my music. He's leaning into his image and he's like, all right, if you guys are gonna give me shit, I'm gonna actively try to like make you mad.
Yeah.
And so like I was watching back to our friend Fantano. I was watching him review the album, and so this is where I realize my disconnect is with like modern hip hop and like what's popular, because he goes, oh yeah, he's just doing a shitty imitation of Trippie Redd. And I go, but wait. Or not Trippie Redd. Playboy Cardi.
Skippy Blue.
Whoop diddy scoop. I got Playboy Cardi confused because his album's called like A Whole Lot of Red or something like that. And I'm like, but wait, like you're mad at him for being a poor imitation of this dude who, from my perspective, is really, really bad.
Yeah.
So you're like, what are we talking about?
He's that bad?
We're just talking about bad music. Like, all this music is bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you can't shit on a guy and then reference something that is just like also really, really bad. So But
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying.
But
So
you realize
you can't
that-
say you look like an ugly Steve Buscemi because Steve Buscemi's already ugly. You're supposed to
Exactly.
say you look like an ugly Tom Cruise. You're supposed to say the nice thing, but in a mean, backhanded way.
yeah, it's like you're shitting on him, then you're referencing something that's also shitty, and it's just like, so, and that
You
made
can't
me.
go like, you sound like a retarded Wesley Willis.
I don't know who that is, but
Oh, you don't know who Wesley? Oh,
wait, who?
Wesley Willis?
Who's that?
I think it's the same guy. Wesley Willis is I'm pretty sure you do know who he is. He did Rock and Roll McDonald's.
Oh, that guy. That rules.
You can't go, you look like a retarded him. Or
The
you
king.
sound like a stupid ass version of this guy.
The fucking king, Wesley Willis.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but it made me realize where you go like, oh, I don't know if this battle's worth fighting because I don't care enough because it's like you're just realizing like how much pushback you're gonna it's this thing where you're like, oh, if I come to this with my opinions, this fucking like wall of pushback you're gonna hit, and I also just don't even care that much about this opinion.
Yeah. That's the collaboration I want to see, by the way. I don't want to see any more, like, who was they did Kid Cudi. Who did they do collaborate? Megan Thee Stallion did a thing with McDonald's. Who else did one? That weirdo guy.
I don't know.
But I want to see the Wesley Willis McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to listen.
I know
to
100% what that is. Yeah, it
Love that guy.
was a hit. It
It was a huge hit.
was a big hit.
I'm surprised they haven't done a collab yet. I know he's dead, but
Bring it back.
I think Stanley drooled on me.
That's fine. It's cute drool.
Yeah.
You do a cute drool.
And it blends in. You're welcome.
What was the other thing I was gonna bring
Alkaline
up?
Trio came out with a new EP.
How'd you like it?
I liked it a lot. I love the way they're going.
Really?
I
I must.
we probably talked about it. And
No, we didn't.
No, well, they put out no, I'm saying
They put out. No, I saw it. They put out. I listened to them. They put out 2 more new songs.
no, I'm saying let me finish.
No.
They put out an album earlier this year.
Yeah.
I don't think I realized the full length was out. I know that we listened to at least 1 or 2
Some
of those
singles,
songs.
yeah.
And I really like those. So I've downloaded that full album. I'm going to go back and listen
Yeah.
to that. But the new songs, it reminds me a lot of one of my favorite albums by them, Crimson.
Yeah.
And it also I like that direction that they're going.
So I'm
You know what
really
I mean?
curious about what you mean by that because I listened to it and I was like, this is very good Alkaline Trio, but it doesn't feel like they move their sound forward in any meaningful way. So I'm very curious what you heard that I didn't hear.
Crimson to me was like a big leap for them. That was a big jump forward artistically, musically. It's going from
And
just
you're
like
very impressed by big jumps.
Yeah. I love big jumps. That's my favorite.
How the hell did you
category
do that?
in the Olympics? I'm like, I love the big jump competition.
How are you doing that?
And I go,
That's tough.
I go, oh, look at that big jump. Whoa, whoa! You see that one guy did a big jump and his dick hit the thing? Whoa!
How the hell does anyone jump like
was
that?
a really big jump. But I like the.
How are you so good at this?
But it wasn't so. Yeah, I know, right? The theatrics of Crimson, like it wasn't as. It's
What
not
year
as
was
big.
that? I'll look it up. Sorry.
I have everything else but that. But the it just basically like I don't want to sound too shitty or anything like that, but it's like a matured Alkaline Trio song. So
Sure.
Which
is what you want when they're this deep into their career.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is like I feel like
That's
not,
where Green Day fucked up. Like
Yes.
Green Day had
they immatured themselves.
Well, yeah, when they put out I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. One of the worst albums I've ever heard from a punk band I like. That Mother of All Motherfucking Unicorn cover album, whatever the fuck that. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
because they're trying to have this like fake youthful energy to their shit, and it's like, no, you're all 40 or 50 something. Just be a punk in your 40s and 50s. It's fine.
And Alkaline Trio, I think we think maybe a little bit differently as far as like their output, but I feel like is still able to put out new versions of Alkaline Trio, like of them putting out new songs without it sounding like them putting themselves through the AI
filter, yeah.
like something like that, where you like just make up. It's just matured Alkaline Trio.
Yeah.
They still have the poppy side. They still have the dark side. They're not they're
Little
not
poppy,
overdoing
little
it.
spooky.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and that's what it is. It's like I think they're instead of just settling in and just kind of being whatever, like they're still doing stuff that makes me excited to listen to it, and it doesn't sound like they're just rehashing shit or like their subject matter. I feel like lends to longevity because of the fact that they don't always talk about like being teenagers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But they can still talk about middle age or creepy shit in a poppy way.
And dude, that's what
And
I've
there's
been.
no shortage of creepy shit happening.
And at our age, in our 30s, like that's what I'm loving. Like I did it last week, but I did a review for the new Fucked Up album, and like that's becoming my favorite type of punk rock now, where it's like people writing music for people in their fucking 30s, where they're just like being real about shit, where it has this like general melancholy tone with an uplifting nature to it at the exact same time.
I feel like they can take the decisions and the moral thoughts, or no, the intrusive thoughts even that they have as parents now, and do that. And like think of what's your worst fear as a parent.
Yeah.
Now write a story. Like that would be so therapeutic to be able to go like, what's my biggest fear to happen to my daughter? Let me write a scenario like that.
Yeah.
Now I've got an Alkaline Trio song. Let me put a fucking banana.
Yeah.
Let's just put some starty stoppies in there, and now we got an Alkaline Trio song about a terrible thing, one of my biggest fears in the world, and it's got to be like that situation where like they have figured out how to be Alkaline Trio at any age.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest fucking thing, and it makes me want to go back and like actually. I don't think I gave them enough attention. I really didn't start really paying attention to them so much until Crimson, and giving some going back and listening to past albums and stuff like that. I always like what they put out. I don't know why I didn't give them more.
They very rarely put out bad music.
But I want to see their
Oh
first
yeah,
one,
Crimson's like halfway.
what, 1996? I want to see from 1996.
I think this is 98.
98?
Yeah.
Okay, so from 1998 through, God Damn It, is their first full-length release, it looks like. And then all the way through their 2024 releases. I want to like kind of do a retrospective.
Yeah.
I would love to do them
See how they like developed over
for
time.
album reviews or album countdowns.
That'd be fun. That'd
I'll
be a
add them to
fun
the
one to
list.
do because like I was just thinking about that. We haven't been doing. Oh, you got a little bit on there. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, no, I think that would definitely be a fun one to do because Alkaline Trio was always a band that I was like, oh, I gotta.
Spell alkaline.
What?
How do I spell alkaline?
However you want to spell it. That's how you spell it.
I-O.
Trio is the one you were getting fucked up on.
Trio.
That's so funny.
Got it.
Yeah, no, maybe I gotta go back and listen to it again, but I remember liking it, but not really thinking they moved the ball forward too much on it.
I loved it. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you one more thing because
Nope, you're out.
All right,
No more questions.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
You can only tell me things now.
Well, then I will tell you this thing that'll sound like a question, but it isn't.
Okay.
No, so I've been doing
Proceed, counselor.
I have the reaction channel, and please stop that.
Here's a reaction for you. Oh. A bunch of them. Put those up.
So I've been doing, I'll use those as thumbnails. Oh, that's the shit that makes me want to kill myself. When you see those YouTubers who have their little, I can't control myself because of this song. Like, you're a
Oh wait, we were just talking about that guy.
yeah, but no, there's a bunch of other dudes that do that where like the guys who review heavy music do it a lot where they're like, I can't believe it's melting my brain. It's like, dude, you spend your whole day listening to music. I doubt anything surprises you.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down.
Whoa, breakdown.
Yeah. No, but I posted on the reaction, the DTL R&R channel. I was excited to post this because I knew it was going to get a response, but Falling in Reverse, Ronnie Radke's band, they put out a new song, and it's so like, I always get intrigued by the bands that have much more fanatical fans, because like in the review, I thought I was being very fair about how I feel about it, because I said like, Ronnie Radke's a guy that like, I don't necessarily love all the shit he does, but he's put out a lot of music I like. He's put out a lot of music I dislike. And there's some things about the guy I respect, and there's some things that I'm like, you might be kind of a bad dude.
I despise.
Yeah, I despise. But he's really like, I'm really like 50-50 on the guy, which I feel like is the fairest you can be about someone that you kind of like, you don't hate, but you don't love and stuff. And I was trying to get that across in the fucking video. And it just reminded me of this thing, because I got a lot of people. There was one dude who was being real cool, and he actually ended up subscribing, which I appreciated.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Wait, here?
No, the other channel.
Oh, fuck you.
But it was just a lot of like, I got a lot of like PAs, personal attacks. Like I got someone being like,
look at that ugly piece of shit.
yeah, I couldn't. No, someone said,
That was me, sorry.
is that was your comment?
Yeah.
That was you who commented that?
Yeah, that was me.
It sounded like
Look
you.
at this stupid, ugly piece of shit.
Yeah, I bring it, but I'm like, Pat, can you believe this comment? And you're like, I really can.
I actually commented I did it on your computer.
That's
I
so
snuck
funny.
in when you weren't here, and I was like,
But like, there was one that was just like, I didn't know a review could be this boring.
Yeah.
And then I saw another person go like, why are you reviewing something if you're not going to say anything nice? And it was like a bunch of shit like
well,
that.
that person's dumb.
Yeah, that's just a dumb statement. A lot, and I was seeing a lot of stuff like that, and it made me laugh. It made me laugh because it reminded me of the fact it's like there's
Don't
certain.
point that thing at me.
I'm shaking it at you.
That's loaded. I don't want.
Yeah, dude.
take it
There's
easy.
still 18 in here.
Don't go rogue on me,
Boyo.
brother. It's rogue. Not a sponsor.
3 milligrams hit harder than the 6 milligrams in. Just saying.
Oh.
Yeah. Shout out Rogue.
Think about it.
I think this is. Oh yeah, nicotine on demand.
Oh, that's the flavor?
Yeah. No, but it made me real. It reminded me. I was like, oh yeah, that's like, and you see it in comedy too. A similar impulse in people is when it comes to music, especially music people love. A lot of people cannot fathom the concept that you might have bad taste in music. Because that was like my big thing of like, I was like, I don't hate Falling in Reverse, but this song's just kind of boring, and it's kind of like, it's kind of a little hand jobby and stuff like that. And I always, like, people like that, the reason like people like that get a reaction out of me or get me like thinking is just like, I was a dude who grew up loving ska and emo.
Yeah.
And it's like, the idea that I could be so delusional to go through this life and to be like, how could you guys not love this? It's like, I love it, but I completely get why people shit on it.
How many times have I said about NoFX? Like, I will say they were moving away from being my number one, obviously. I think,
Really?
I think so. I think they'll
Do you know who your number one is?
No. I think it's Mutoid Man. It's so crazy. I fucking love that band.
I get it, dude. I mean, I think Kubla Khan's my number one. And I only found out about them a couple years ago.
Like, NoFX has been my all-time favorite band, but I would never, ever, ever say that they are the world's greatest band. They're just my favorite. They were my preference for a lot of my life.
Yeah.
And it's not like they are, like, the music they were releasing. It's just they put out so much stuff that I was just like, I felt like the Pennywise thing. Like, Pennywise did it for a while, too. It's the bands that I can grow with, that I have enjoyed growing with over time, are the ones that are always going to be there. But once they start putting out stuff that I feel like is going through the motions, they kind of lose
especially
touch.
with that last album.
Yeah, I just lose. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe it'll be like one of those things that it's just one of those, like, they had their place in time and everything.
Yeah.
But I still feel like I am only admitting that just because, like, I still love to see them live.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't see them live anymore, then it's kind of like, well, they had their place in the sun. They had their time. I was glad that I experienced it live. The same thing with Anderson Silva, being a fan of his as well. But once you see that decline, it's harder and harder to watch.
Yeah.
So, like, I kind of do see.
And
like,
then a lot of times the decline in an entertainer or a fighter, like you were saying, I mean, fighting is entertaining, but a lot of times in the decline in the entertainer, it like, because when they're on that decline, it's sort of a lot of times they'll do stuff that sort of goes against or compromises like their initial mission statement.
Yeah.
And that's when they start to, that's why like artists who die early are always held in such esteem, because they didn't get that run where they were able to like sort of fuck up their legacy.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they at no point did they have an opportunity to phone it in.
Yeah.
So like I think once you're given that opportunity, you can make an artistic choice or a big swing or a big jump. You know what I mean? Or you can go into a point where you're like, let's put out a greatest hits album.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, now let's put out a covers album. Like, okay, well, what covers are you going to do? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
I feel like
you
get these opportunities, and it's not right or wrong, but I think it gets to a point where like you just can't admit that like it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's not up to past, like you say, like something like that. Like you're just kind of delusional to it.
Yeah, and I think I was
Happens
glad
in politics a lot. Too.
I'm glad you brought that up, because actually I was gonna say this on No More Heroes, but I think there's a lot of things where in like where a lot of people know there's a lot of like fucked up shit about life and everything, but a lot of people sort of like, it's like when you come into the world, you see it a lot of times with like the American dream concept. It's like in America you're promised this one thing. You're promised
Dusty Rhodes.
What?
Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, you're promised Dusty Rhodes.
Got it.
And then you realize he's dead, and you're like, my whole life's been a lie.
Now all I have is Dustin Rhodes.
I mean, Cody's pretty cool. But
I'm a big Dusty guy.
no, you look at like, I think it's encapsulated in like the American dream, where I think it's why people sort of can get on board and ignore some fucked up shit, because they're sort of like, I was promised this, I was told this, I was promised that I was gonna be fucking hyped all the time and happy all the time, and everything was gonna be flowers and rainbows and shit like that. And then when you get something that sort of takes away it's like you've already agreed upon the end result, and when someone sort of throws a wrench into that, rather than analyzing it like, am I wrong or are they wrong, rather than you're just going like, no, you're about to crumble my house of cards, you're about to tear down my house of cards, my reality, and it's like, I can't have you do that. Those are the kind of people that are like hard to talk to sometimes, because it's like, it's hard to have a conversation with those people, because you're like, we're going into this conversation under your parameters. Like, that's kind of the vibe you're giving me right now, is like, we have to be under your parameters or else you're gonna fucking just be a problem. And I think that's happening with those fans, where it's just like, I don't have it. It's like, I don't even have anything fucking personal against Ronnie Radke. The dude's entertaining as shit. I love drama. I love watching that dude fucking spaz out on Twitter and shit like that. But it's just odd to be like, I mean, the dude's been around since I've been in fucking high school. And it's just odd to be like a fan of Ronnie Radke's for any period of time, and just you don't have any moment where you go like, where you realize why people may get annoyed by him.
Yeah.
It just feels like you're holding on to this like weird construct of existence that you just, you're holding on by a thread.
Yeah.
And you just cannot have that thread pulled an inch. So rather than accepting reality, you like lash out at people saying reasonable things.
Yeah. I think overall it's just delusion. It happens a lot in any of those domains we were talking about. Political,
Our feet touched.
sports.
That's not what you call it. Our feet touched.
Get away. But any of those things where like people just get to a point where they're like, you can't just, it happen to people that are like, if you're like, it happens to both sides of the political arena. You know what I mean? Like the Democrats, Republicans, anything like that. It happens in teams. Like for a sport, it becomes their identity. And I think what I want to ask you, which do you think would be worse? Is somebody that makes a band's identity, let's say output, their identity, or whatever, their identity, they just attach themselves to it. An obscure band or a very, very popular band like Red Hot Chili Peppers. So if it was like, so if you're like, oh, no, I'm trying to think of like one of the most, what can I think of like obscure wise? Let's say Gojira before they
Olympics.
became yeah. You
Uh,
know what I mean?
which
If that was
ones?
like that was the one
Yeah.
where they're like, no, that's the gold standard of metal, and then everything else. You know what I mean? Like where that's the agreement where you go like, well, I'm voting Biden. I mean, there's no question about that. And you're like, whoa. Don't you want to look at how the candidates are?
Yeah,
And all this other-
yeah. I mean, it's obvious. It's gonna
It
be
can't be objective.
it's gonna be a bad time no matter which route you go because, like you said, it's like you're not gonna be able to assess life in an honest way.
Right.
Where can you imagine just going out through your day where you're like, you don't like Gojira? You're like, dog, what?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Like they're weird. Like they're they're like I mean they're pretty fucking big, but they're like prog metal, right?
Yeah, they're pretty. They're like they're very much, I think, similar. Actually, not too much to Meshuggah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like they're kind of like this. They're,
Okay.
they're an acquired taste.
I would say
But they're very good.
I would say for your day-to-day survival,
Yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers might be the move.
Really? You think that would be more? No, I'm saying which would you think would be more a person you would want to interact with?
Oh, want to interact with?
Like, because that would mean like they're like this big flea energy over here. This guy, he's the flea of the group. I'm more like the Anthony, or we call him Tony.
Yeah, but then like I feel like a Gojira guy is gonna be wearing like leather wristbands,
Right, but
And
they're
he'll
also
only-
going to be referring to them, and you won't know who he's referring to. He'll be like, "Oh, he's a big Steven guy. This guy's he's got Steven in it."
And he'll be wearing leather wristbands, only drinking like mead.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I think because I could crush light beers with the Chili Peppers fan.
You could do heroin under a bridge.
Oh, dude, I'll do heroin, lay in the back seat, get driven to the gig. You know what I mean?
Have scar. You've got
That's
tons
how-
of scar tissue.
Yeah, a little bit right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to take the Chili Peppers fan. I feel like we could lock in on more stuff than the
You could fake it more, maybe.
Yeah, the Kojira fan would get more exhausting to me because I love a guy. I would rather have a buddy who has like golden retriever energy than like a fucking. I feel like the Kojira fan's like a poodle, like a real expensive poodle
All right.
that like knows he's better than you.
Tool fan or
Anything else?
let me finish. Foo Fighters fan, or Foo Fighters is their number one. Is it the same?
That's tough.
Right.
That's tough. I might have to go Tool fan because the Tool fan will also like other music that's good, and I feel like you can shit because you
Is it
can
going to be
shit.
talking around you, so it's going to end up on your meme page. It's going to be on your Instagram thing because your phone's going to be listening. So
Well,
you're going to be
here's
hitting
where I'm coming
Tool
from.
meme fans.
Here's where I'm coming
Tool
from.
fan memes.
Is I'm gonna be shitting on either or,
Right.
and the Foo Fighters fan is not gonna deal with the teasing very well. The Tool fan will deal with the teasing very well.
Are you sure? Now, because we have covered this a little bit before in the past. Maynard James Keenan himself has pointed out how annoyed he gets by their fans.
Yeah,
So, like, do you think they can even control him?
I don't know.
Right? So, like, Foo Fighters, like Dave Grohl seems like, as far as, let's just say both of them are a cult. Dave Grohl seems like the cult leader I would rather go behind because Maynard James Keenan seems like the guy that's just trying to fuck my
I
wife.
don't know. Like Foo Fighters fans just seem like people who try to convince you that like the Marvel movies are the peak of cinema.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't even hate the Marvel movies, but like you can't have a real conversation with those people.
But is that as bad as then, or the person that's like, oh, did you see this French?
But then, yeah,
silent
the
film?
Tool fan only watches Gus Van Sant movies.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's they're both insufferable.
Dude, I've never had a Sophie's Choice like this.
This is a hard one, right?
It's a hard one.
This is way harder because they have to be at the same level somehow. They have to be at the same level of celebrity. Like Slayer fan or Tool fan is a little bit easier for me because
Slayer
like
fan would be more
you just
fun.
black out all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, scream and black out all the time. That's fun.
Yeah.
It's very simple to be a Slayer diehard
Yeah.
fan. You know what I mean?
It's a fun, yeah, dude.
Sunglasses, drugs, alcohol, tons of Jaeger. I could get used to Jaeger. I don't love Jaeger, but I could drink it. You know what I mean? Like tons of Jaeger. They're always sponsored by Jaeger.
Jaeger does suck.
But Tool versus Foo Fighters is like, it's again, cult wise, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. I think I'd have to go Tool.
See?
No, when you brought up the drinking example, because like a Tool fan would just want to drink red wine and like weird IPAs.
Right. And just talk about like
Might
they
have-
would get too deep into the music, whereas like
Well, because
the Foo Fighters one would be like, oh my god, this is such a fun memory. This reminds me of high school, and you're like, ugh.
and then the Tool fans don't realize they're getting trolled the whole time.
This is tough, right?
Nah, Foo Fighters. I'd go
Right?
Foo Fighters.
I think I would too.
Because I like that. I've hung out with the fucking...
I think they could get darker.
I've hung out with like the collared shirt dude who's oblivious to reality.
Yeah.
They're not it's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
They just like... No, I'm remembering. I want to
You're
tell...
like, actually, they are.
No. I want to tell you about this guy without giving too much information about this guy. Like, it was just always funny because we'd hang out and this one dude would always be like, yo, you gotta try this. Like food stuff.
Yeah.
He'd be like, you gotta try this. And we'd try it and it'd be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's a hot dog.
Yeah, it's fine. You know what I mean?
I love telling somebody that told me something is so good that be like, yeah, it tastes like Cheetos.
Yeah.
Or something.
Well, it's like a person who like beats a video game and they're like, yes, I completed it, and they don't realize like, no, you actually have to do way more to 100% the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think we did it. Foo Fighters and Chili Peppers.
You win this round.
We're gonna go hang out with you guys. All right. Thanks for watching. We love you all. Have a good one. Be about it. Peace.